Welcome to week 5, where we'll be looking at continuing with the floor plan, and we'll be looking at inserting blocks. So we're preparing the wall openings to receive doors and windows, all right? And then we'll end off with hatching the walls, all right? So if you want to know where we are, we're in week 5, and that should be on your learning program where that is outlined. And if you can bring up your assessment portfolio, you'll see that, or even in your learn, so I need you to bring up this page. It's on your learn page under assessment, so you can bring up both the program and your window and door schedule. So if you look there under assessment task, there's your portfolio where you can bring it up to screen 2, but you don't really need that right now. I'd prefer you to bring up your doors and windows schedule. All right, so that's sheet B2. Just download that and bring it up on your second screen. All right. So there it is there. I'm just going to explain to those that, generally we're looking at doors and windows, okay, here. This is very important in your plans to do a window and door schedule, and the reason why is that the glazing company or the aluminium door company or the timber door company needs to read the plans to understand what size doors are going to be implemented or what windows they need to insert. So if you look here at your window schedule, you'll see that the window schedule marks it as window 1, and it's allocated on the plan over here by window 1. So you can actually see there's window 1, and with windows and doors, the height is always mentioned first. So don't see it as a width first, that is the height of the door or window. So that window 1 is 2100 high, and it's always in millimeters by it's 1800 high by a width of 1570. Do you see that? All right, then if you go along, it tells you what frame it's going to be in. So it's aluminium, sliding, and you can actually see then there's a block name. All right, now I think with Andreas, he has touched base with regards to blocks, but I'll just show you how that's done. It's already produced items. So someone, and if you're working for a company one day, they will have their set drawings of where all the lines are accumulated, because each line is seen as a single object. So if we're wanting to not take up space in the computer or on your drive, you actually then condense that item in writing a block, they call it. And a block can be representing a singular item, being a window 1, a window 2. It could be a basin. It could be a whole lot of different items. So the generic word in using a combination of lines or objects condenses that whole item into one, being a window block, all right, or a door block. So this block name here, WNP slide, so we know that it's a sliding window, and it has been produced by ourselves at TAFE here. In other words, if you were working for a company, it would be produced there for you, and you would insert that or increase the size accordingly in terms of length or width. Okay. So because we're working only with plans, we are going to be looking at all the windows and doors in plan version, not in elevation. There are blocks in here that are already assigned where they are in elevation. We're not looking at that, all right? And then this is very important, is the scale, because you can actually see that window 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the same, but 1, 2, and 3 are the same. Window 4 is a different size. It's 970 in width. but they use the same block. So we've got to scale it correctly to be able to either increase the size of that block to fit into our drawing or decrease. So I will show you where it will be affected by that. So that's usually in association with the annotative scale. Okay, so we are working with 1 to 100. We're not working with 1 to 1. If we're working with 1 to 1, then that would be 1570. But because it's 100 times smaller, you then have to make it 1.57. Okay, so you'll see that all come into play now when we actually insert the blocks. Okay, so you'll also see that there down here, window 8, these are all SGL. SGL stands for single glaze. All right, so that's a single glazed window. And if you look at this one down here, window 9, that means that that one there is a double glazed window. Okay, so DBL is a double glazed window. Same with the doors. You have a schedule for the doors, and again the height is mentioned first and then the width, and it tells you which frame it's in terms of timber, aluminium, etc. All right, now with a timber framed door, let's start with the timber framed door. The frame on the outside of the door panel, so you get a door that swings, right? Okay, so the door will show the direction it is opening in or out, and then the curved part shows the swing that it swings open and closed. All right, so that's the door panel. Then we also have an indication of if I just zoom in here quickly. So if you look at this door here, that's the door panel and that's the swing. So we know that that door opens into this room and it closes. All right, so be careful of orientation in terms of rotating this door correctly in the opening position. Then if we zoom in even closer, okay, that's a bit too much zoom, I'm sure, but you can understand what I'm getting at there. You'll see that there's an outer frame of the door because a door panel needs a frame to shut into. So we've got to calculate what that is on either side. And with a timber door, it's usually 40, okay? With aluminium, it's about 45, okay? So if we're looking at a door panel of 820, it actually fits into an opening of 900, all right? Does that make sense? So if we're looking at an aluminium door, it would be around about the 910 opening. Okay. So the same goes for when we're looking at a 720 door. If you're looking at a 720 door, we've got to take into the frame, and the opening there should be around about 800. Okay, so does that make sense to you all? Again, I'm just going to zoom back out. Let's go this way. You'll see that I've got a couple of sliding doors here, all right? When we insert the blocks for the sliding doors, these sliding doors are in aluminium, they're not timber, and you've got to check the orientation of the internal slide of the door. That door is sliding inside and resting over the fixed panel there. Can you see that? So that is the same block as this, but we've got to use either mirror or we've got to use rotation to achieve inserting those. All right, so just be aware of that as well as this one here. And you'll see that your drawing is all nicely labeled all the way around. So usually when a door manufacturing company reads a plan, all right, so I'm just going to zoom out a bit so you can all see that. They will start in one direction and they'll work their way around in a either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So the architect or building designer needs to know the direction that he can't just put one W1 here and W2 up there. It doesn't make sense. So W1, window 2, window 3, and so forth goes around. So you've got orientation. The internal stuff can be a bit more messier. That's not a problem because it's just simply wooden doors in this case. So you'll actually see there is 5 and 8 and 9, and it's due to similar door sizes that are incorporated there. Okay. So that's just showing you how this actually works in terms of reading a plan and how you can interpretate or create a door and window schedule. All right. Any questions on that? You guys are all good? Okay, perfect. All right, so keep that open. I just have one screen, so I'm just going to close that for now. All right. And we are going to be looking at our screen here. Please make sure that when you start your new copy, that you've saved it either with today's date or your version. If you're on version 5, then save it as version 6, all right, so that you've always got a new copy to work with and your previous work is saved. Right, so what we're going to start off with is, let's just keep it simple and let's start with the interior doors, okay? They're timber doors, so we're going to jump around a bit there, so don't stress too much. We're going to be looking at your door schedule, and we're going to be looking at door 5 to around about 11, okay? And with that, we're going to start preparing the openings, okay? So the easiest one to start with in this case is looking at zooming into this area here, where we would be looking at an 820 door. So what did I say an 820 door is? We're looking at about a 900 opening, right? But sometimes there's also a reveal. So they don't start right at the walls. If this wall is adjacent to this wall, they don't start exactly at that edge. They normally give about a 50 to 200 mil, what can I say? What do you call it? It is like a bit of a rebate, yeah. And that's usually so that people can, it's the swinging of the door or getting access just to behind there. All right. So let's start off with that one. We're all going to be in the doors layer, okay? So make sure that your layers property chooses doors. All right, some of you might have your properties already put up here. If you want to have your properties, you can use this little arrow here, which is your diagonal arrow. And you can actually dock that there if you want to the side, okay? For space now, I'm just going to switch that off. So if you want to take that away, you can just delete it. So that just shows you how you can work with that. All right. So let's start with our commands that are the easiest to use when preparing an opening. We're going to be looking at the offset command, trim, and we're going to be looking at fillet. Okay. So let's offset this wall here by 50. So we're going to choose offset. We're going to, so it says there, we're not using our layer doors, so we're just going to carry on with copying the exact wall layer being magenta. And we are going to choose the distance, so offset distance, and that is 50. Enter. Choose that line and bring it down, and there it is there. Then we're going to use that command again. So we're going to choose, we're going to select enter again and enter, and we're going to open that opening by 900. Enter. So choose that line and that line. Okay? So it's just offsetting, and to remember to, instead of going and choosing the icon, you can just press enter because you're in that command. Does that make sense? Okay? So enter to stop a command and re-enter to start that command offset. Okay? So is everyone there?
No.
Okay, let's do that again. All right.
Yeah. It doesn't come up with.
Read your commands in below. So let's do that again. So you choose offset. offset is this button here. It's the little, like, almost looks like half a loaf of bread kind of thing. Okay? And it says there, if you've got your either your dynamic input on, or even if you look down here, you can type in now, it's asking you for distance. Read down here, specify offset distance. So we're going to say 50, so type in 50. All right. See, there's 50. Press enter. Choose your line and enter. Okay. Then I'm going to re-enter because I want to go back into that command. I could go back here and choose that, or I could press enter. Enter again to start it. It's asking what the last distance was, which was 50. We don't want it to be 50. We want it to be 900. So it's 900. Enter. Choose the line and bring it down. Okay. All right, so now we've got that there, which is great. We can actually look at opening that, so we can extend that line. So what do we do when we extend? We choose the selected line. So extend, command, select the line, which is highlighted in a blue, purple. Press enter to finish that command. Select, and the two lines will extend to that. All right. Then you choose trim. And I'll show you a trick with trim. If you're wanting to just trim quickly, you can press trim and press enter. And you just select that, and that does that. And the same with these lines here.
Can you actually take us back to where we are now? Can you take us back so I can see the full vision? Because I can't actually see where we are.
There, in this section here.
Oh, right, okay.
If you're looking at the drawing, we are in the first bedroom. As you walk into the house through the front door, look at the front door we haven't created yet, we're over here. And this is the bedroom, and it's got a walk-in robe. And then this will be eventually a bathroom in here. Okay, or ensuite. Select your line that you're extending to, which is your outer wall. Okay. All right, let me just come to you. All right, so now that we've made that opening, we can now move to our next opening. So we're going to look at door 5. So door 5 is over here. So if you're looking at bringing up your if you're bringing up door 5 is there, and it's on your schedule over there. We're going to be working in that area now. All right? So just watch me, and then you can be able to do the command so that you don't lose with what's going on. Okay? Right. So from here, we're going to do the same. We're going to offset this little nib that we've done there, which is there, the same here. So we're going to do exactly the command that we've just done. So we're going to offset by 50, and then we're going to offset by 800, because that's a 720 door panel there. Do you see that? All right, so let's choose offset. Let's do 50 because it's asking us for that distance. Enter. Select the line. There's a 50. Then enter to reactivate that command. And then it's asking us for the next distance, which is an 800 opening, and enter. So you select, pull that up. All right, do you see that? Then we are going to do exactly the same. We're going to extend that line, and then we're going to trim. So it's a sequence of events. Do you see that? Continually. So again, extend is hidden behind trim. So extend. We select the line that we want to extend to. Enter. And then we select the two lines where we want to extend to. So we're there. Enter. To finish that command, we press escape to choose now trim. Trim it. And the quick way of trimming, instead of going select between that line and that line, because that's the original way of doing it. We can press enter and then we can delete that and that, or we can do a quick version of just going trim and press enter, and then you can also just delete all the lines around, which is much quicker. Okay, so I'll just go back a sec. So this is the quick way I do it, which is trim, and then I press enter, and that actually gives me the option of just selecting lines. Do you see the little red X next to it? Then that's just quick and easy. Okay, so now that's my door opening into my ensuite bathroom. I'm going to start moving up now. So if you're wanting to know where we are going to be moving into I think that's the laundry area is here. And you can see that's that door number is number 9, and it's in an 820 panel. So we're going to do that again where we are offsetting by 50. So it's asking me for a distance again, which is 50. Enter. Select this line, pull it upwards. All right, reactivate the command. So you press enter and press enter again. And then it's asking me for the distance of the opening now. And that is going to be a 900 opening. So I type in 900, enter. I select that line and I drag it up. Easy done. All right. Then do the same with the extend command and so forth. And extend and extend, enter, escape, because you're choosing a new command, which is trim, and then you enter, and there is your door opening now to your laundry area. All right. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. If you look over to this side here, is everyone with me? Or are you catching up still? You okay? All right, I'll give you a sec. Huh? Yeah, so over here, do you see it's a 720 opening, right? Now, you'll see that that space is very tight. It only allows a little bit of space for some gyprocking to be attached, and then the door frame starts, okay? So if we go back to our drawing, we can actually see sorry, let me just zoom in and out. If I take my measuring tape, which everyone should know by now, that's your little measuring tape to see. If you take your measuring tape and you take it from that corner to your inner wall corner there, and you click there, it gives you some measurements, all right? You can't actually see that, but that's around about the 8, I think it's about 810, all right, behind there. Yeah. And that is showing me that I have a very tight door opening there. So the best is to start offsetting from this wall here, 800 that way, okay? So that you've got a bit of a return with gyprock this side, on your left-hand side. So I'll just escape that. So let's offset that door. So we're going to offset, and we are going to choose now our offset there with regards to, what did we say? 800, yes. So we got no nib. Do you see that? Enter, and we're going to take that one over. All right. So if I zoom in, you'll see that that line is just 10 mils short, or 10 mils in as a return. Okay. So don't do it from this side, do it from this side. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing where we're going to extend. So we choose extend. Choose the extend line that we're extending to. Enter. Select our two lines. Escape. Oh, sorry about that. All right, then trim it. So escape and then choose trim and enter, and we just highlight. Let's choose trim again. Enter. All right, there we go. So that's now our door 6 that we've completed. Now we've got a little guest toilet here. All right, this is where we are. So I'll just zoom out so that people know where we are. This is this is the bathroom that these 2 bedrooms share, and now we're going to be doing a guest toilet there. And you can see that door opening is door 7, and it's again 720. The best to do here is that this door will be positioned in the middle of that wall. So let's choose a line as a command, and we're going to get the midpoint. All right. So if you don't have your midpoint chosen, there's your midpoint in terms of your O snaps. Select it. Do you see that? All right. And there's your midpoint on your inner wall layer, not your outer, because it's going to include from that corner there. We don't want that. We want it from the inner wall, or the inner, what can I say, surface finish. All right. So I'm just going to draw a line across there. And I'm going to offset that. What's half of 800? 400. So offset 400, 400 on either side. So offset 400. Enter. Select that line, bring it up. Enter again. Enter again. Select that line and bring it. Oh, it does. What did I do there now? Okay. Let's do that again. Offset 400. And there we go. So now what we've got is that opening. We just can now trim, or we can actually use fillet. Fillet there. Choose that line and that line. Enter. Choose that line and that line. But then everything goes, so just be careful of that. So I might have to just bring that back, or I could just choose my wall layer again, going into my walls. So there's different options of you having to complete. All right, there we go. So now what you can do is you can delete that, erase, and the best thing is to keep this all part of walls. Do you see that? Because I was in doors layer, that layer's red. Do you see that? So you can change the properties. So what we're going to do is, how do you change those lines to match? What do you think we need to do? Yes. Click on the lines. So if you click on that line and you click on this line here, they're singular objects. You go into your layers properties and you go down and make them walls timber. And there they are. They've changed the properties. Okay. Awesome. So that now will accept a 720 door panel with an 800 frame opening. Okay. You're not trimming. Okay, choose trim. Press enter. Okay, so over here, to get into this bedroom here, you'll see that the door is positioned on this diagonal wall. Do you see that? Yeah. And that door there is number 10, okay? Now, in order for us to get that opening, we've got to put on our polar tracking. So come down to your status bar down here. Click down on the arrow. Do you see the little arrow next to it? And make sure you're not on 90 but on 45. Right, so I'll just pull that up again. You make sure that your your tick is on 45, 90, etc. Okay? You can escape or just click in your screen somewhere. And what we're going to do here now is we are going to draw a little line from this corner. Now that's not 45, so don't join that line with that line because it's incorrect. From that line there, you should have a polar tracking. Do you see the little dashed lines coming down? Like there, if you look here, it goes all the way around, round, and then it clicks in. Do you see it clicks in there at 45? I want you to then draw your line like that. Okay?
Must the layer be wall timber or doors?
It can be doors or wall for now. We can change the properties. I've got it in wall because I'm just making an opening there for you. So you can choose. You can always change those properties if you indoors. That's a good question. All right, so now that I've got that little line going through, I can now, from there, the return in that bedroom is much greater than 50. We're looking at a return of 200. So I want you to offset, so choose offset as your command. Specify the distance, which is 200. Enter. Select that line that you've just drawn at 45 degrees and pull it in this direction. All right, so you should see it over there. Okay. All right, then from there, you're going to do exactly the same by offsetting an opening of 900. Well done. So you choose offset or enter, and you do 900, enter, select the line, pull it down, and there is now your door opening. So now you can just actually press trim, so select trim, and enter, and do that. Oh, I was a bit hasty there. I actually deleted that line. And it won't allow me to, it will allow me to delete that one, but not that one because it's part of connecting to there. So what I can do is I can either get my grip points and I can extend my grip points back. All right. And then I can just fill it between that line and that line. All right, so if you hover over it, it actually shows you the direction it's going to remove. Do you see that? Okay. Again, enter, enter, fill it. Oops. So we're going to choose that one and that one. Okay. And then you can just erase that little line that you created there. So just delete that one. Okay. So that's easy done.
Really?
You guys good? Are you all right, Clinton?
Yes, good,
All
yes,
good?
very good.
Okay, I'm very
Ready to
pleased.
go to the market.
I'm pleased to hear that. All right, so there we go. So there is all your door openings now on the inside of your interior or the inner walls, if we can distinguish that. All right. Now what we can do is we can start, just so that you get used to blocks, we're going to look at inserting the doors. All right. So if you pull up your if you pull this up, this is where we're going to be working from, and they're all the same: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and they vary between the size panel of 720 to 820. All right, so you can just look at that for a reference, but I'll show you now how to insert a block. So now we can go back to that. All right, so currently we've been working in home. Home is the ribbon here. Do you see home?
Yeah.
But if we go to the tab next to it, we go to insert. Do you see that? So you get home and insert. All right, so insert, do you see that there is, it says there block at the bottom. Don't click on that, but it just tells you that you're in that selection or that command of blocks. So what happens is that because we started this template and you downloaded it, we've created these blocks for you, like I said in the beginning of this lesson. We've done the hard work for you. So what you do is you press insert, And you've actually then got a little scroll here, up and down, showing you what your blocks look like. Okay, do you see that? So you've got all kinds of interesting little blocks in there. Or you can go straight to more options, which I like. So go to more options. Okay, did you see that? So you go to insert, insert, more options. Okay, let me just go back so that I can just repeat that. Insert there, more options. And this, what can I say, note will come up. All right, if you go along here and you open up the downwards arrow, you'll see that there is all your names of all your blocks. Okay, so if we're looking at, just say door 8, it says that it is called in the block name DRP. So you can actually type there DRP to get quickly to it, DRP. And DRP is an 820 door. So there's 720. We need to go one down to 820 plan. Now, please don't go to elevation. There's also an 820 elevation. We are not drawing a door in elevation, which is shown here on the board. We are drawing it in plan. We're looking down from bird's eye view from the top. So we go to plan, which is that one. Select it. All right. Now you'll see that there is some instructions here. I want you to make sure that that box is ticked where it says insertion point. That means that it allows you to pick anywhere on that block once it's installed and be able to move it to connect with another object. Scale. We will come to what we need to do with scale shortly. But for now, we are just going to leave it all one-to-one. And we're going to specify that on screen. So I want you to click that. When you click it, you'll see that those other X, Y, and Z goes gray. All right? And then we are going to specify the angle on screen. So we're just going to do that too. All right? Sorry, with scale, I need it to be all one-to-one. So unclick that. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Just keep it unclicked. It's a specifying screen that I want to be able to rotate that door and select OK. All right. Now you'll see I'm naughty. I didn't choose the right layer. So if you've done exactly what I've done, we can always change the layer and change that door. So go back to home and choose that you need to be indoors. Okay, and select that item and change that property to doors. Okay, it's a red layer. All right, so it looks like that. Okay. So if you select that object and you change it to doors, it will change that property. I'm moving between it now there. Okay. Is that all good? All right. Now, I don't know if you see, but which side is the door swing? The door swing is opening into that bedroom, and it looks like it is a, if I'm standing in the room and pulling it towards me, it's a left-hand opening. Do you see that? Now, my door is in the wrong position. It's totally upright. So what do you think? What commands do you think we would use here?
Mirror.
We could use mirror. What's the other one? Rotate. All right. For now, I'm going to just, I'm going to use actually both. I'm first going to rotate it and then I'm going to mirror it. So let's look at selecting that object and let's go to rotate. And I am going to click anywhere on it. So I'll go zooming in and I will move it, say for instance there, in that direction. I'll go 90 degrees up. All right. Make sure, please make sure that this ortho's on down here because we don't want it to be elastic band. We want it to be going in 90 degrees. All right. So that is ortho mode. Ortho mode. It's got a 90-degree angle on it. Okay. So now that I've rotated my door to the left, I need to flip it. So I select it again and I mirror it. All right. So if I bring it down, that's the one I want. All right. And it's asking me down here, do you want to erase the source object? Well, I could use it for something else. So let's say no. And there it is there. So it looks like a very interesting half a pie or something, hey? So let's now select the one that we want. So we select it, enter, sorry, select, oh, what am I doing? You choose move, that would be best as a command. Select it, enter, and then I want you to go to the outer part of there. I want you to click over there and then switch off now your ortho mode because you can only go in that direction and I want to move it a bit. So I want to be elastic band and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to match it to the end point over there. All right? And it should fit neatly in there. Okay? Did you see that? So I first rotated it, then I mirrored it, and then I moved it. All right? Please make sure that that end point of your door lines up with the end point of the wall to the outside passage passage area here. Okay? Okay, so that's an 820 door. Let's finish off with working with 820 before we move on to 720. I think that would make sense, wouldn't it? So you don't get confused because you've got an 820 door here already. So where's our next 820 door? Number 9. Okay, so let's do number 9. Now number 9 is opening into the room to the left-hand side. Okay? Sorry, yes, that is right, left-hand side. The other door was to the right. I got that confused. So this is a door opening into the laundry room to the left. So we've got our door here and we can flip it now in terms of rotating. So we select and rotate. And we put our ortho mode on so it can only go in 2 directions. And we just flip it round. All right? There it is. So now I just have to move it. So I select it, switch off ortho mode, and we move. And I zoom in to get that little end point. Do you see there? The end point of the door frame. And I move it and I line it up with the outer edge of this wall here. Not in there. That's wrong. Everyone look here. That's incorrect. I don't want to see that. You need to make it line up with the wall. Okay. So we've got 2 doors now in. We've got number 8 and number 9. What's the next 820 door?
Bedroom in the corner.
Yeah, bedroom in the corner. What number is that? 10 and 11. Hey? All right, so with 10 and 11, let's select this door again. And let's make a copy of it. And let's move it somewhere here for now. All right. So how do you think we're going to be able to rotate that door? What do we need to use for that door? On the status bar, what is it? What function key down here would help with that? With rotation. Does anyone know? Thomas?
Polar tracking.
Yes, polar tracking. Well done. So we're going to use the rotation command first, and then we're going to use our polar track to lock in at 45 degrees. Okay. So what's good about that is that this is actually facing into the room already. That that door panel opening. So when we're standing in the room, it's also a left-hand turn, a left opening. Do you see that? So what we can do is we choose, we select the object, we choose rotation, or you can use rotation and then select the object, and we're going to click right over here on the edge, and we are going to swing round. So make sure you got an elastic band there, and put on your polar tracking, which is the circle over there, okay, because we've already selected 45. And you can see it starts clicking in. Do you see the vector line created? So whenever you see that vector line appear, that's when you know that it's right at 45 degrees. And snap it. Just click on your screen somewhere. There we go. There it's positioned at 45. Now we can move it. Move. Select that outer frame edge and bring it in and connect with the end point of your wall, and voila, there it is. Okay, did you guys see that? So snap it in at the vector line at 45. Well done. Now move it. Select your outer frame endpoint. Bring it down, and there we go. Great stuff. All right, so the same can happen with making a copy of this door now. So we're going to copy it, and we're going to make another one over here somewhere. And we need to turn it, right? Do you think we need to flip it? Would you think we need to flip? Do you think we need to mirror it?
You need to rotate it and flip.
Yep. So we can either rotate and flip, like in terms of mirror, or we can mirror first and then lock it in at 45 degrees. Okay, so I will mirror it first. So I choose mirror, select the object, enter, and let's mirror it. So I'm going up at 90 degrees. If you've got an elastic band and you don't know how to, if that irritates you, just switch on your ortho there, and it chooses the direction. It says, do you want to keep the original? And I'm saying erase source object, yes. So that one will not remain. And let's see if that is actually going to be 45 degrees. I don't think so. So let's just rotate that, select the item, enter, and make sure that it's at 45 degrees. Sorry, you got to choose your polar tracking. Hang on. So there we go. It clicks in at any 45 degrees. So mine is at 0 because of where I clicked. Do you see that? So I just click it, and now I can move it.
That doesn't happen to mine.
Okay, let me do that again. Let's go back a few places, and we can just repeat that. All right, so we're going to start again so that everyone can see. So just watch this, all right? I've selected this object to copy, right? Select the object, copy. Take it and move it into this room. Enter. To finish your command, escape. Okay? Now what are we going to do? We need to mirror it. So we choose mirror. Select the object, enter, and we are going to mirror it. Now, do you see that it's like extendable? It's like an elastic band. I don't want that. I just want it to click in at 90 degrees. So what I do is I go down here and I choose ortho mode. Okay? That means that it will swap it and move it in a 90-degree direction. Now you can see that there's two objects there. We can either keep the source object or we can erase the source object. What is it asking me? Erase source object. In this case, yes, I don't want to see that background image. So I go yes. Now that I've mirrored it, I need to make sure that it clicks in at 45 degrees. So select the object, rotate. Now down here, this is where your Q is, down here, select your polar tracking, all right? And get into where I've selected it, it's telling me that it can click in at 0, 45, 90, so there's 0. I don't think this would work. Where's 45 here? There. That's not going to be right for my door opening. So this is the best one because it looks like it will fit like a puzzle piece. So I pull it to the side and I just click on the screen and then I can move it into position. Enter. And now the hard part is actually with this. You can actually see on your door schedule, it's not, you don't click down here on this edge here. So if I just have to move, it's not there, it's there that I've got to click, all right? So if I move this object, I've got to go to the top of that, so I get my endpoint there, and I marry it or connect with that point there. Okay, do you see that? And you'll see that there is a little nib there now with that frame. Okay, so now you know that you're on the right path because we've connected this side, the frame, to this corner here. Okay, all good? Okay, let's just wait till you catch up. Last door inside. What door opening was that again? Into the bathroom. Sorry, there's the ensuite and there's the bathroom, right? So they're both 720 doors. That is door 6 and 7. So we're actually going to insert now our block again. So where do we go for getting our blocks?
Insert.
Yes, the insert tab.
More options.
Insert and more options, and we're going to go down here where we are dropping it down, and just above DRP 820 is DRP 720 plan. That's the one we want, and we leave it as is and we just press OK, and there is our door there. All right, I've got my elastic band, so I'm just making it 90 degrees. So I'm going to pull it to that direction because that's easiest. Now that we have that door there, we're going to start off with inserting actually number door 5. I forgot about that. That goes into the ensuite, right? So it's going to fit into this opening here. You agree?
Yes.
So I've already changed that position. The door I've rotated to the right, to the opening. So I just have to move it in. So let's move that. So go to home, move, select, enter, get a endpoint there, switch off your ortho, get the elastic band, and place it in there. All right, so that's now opening inwards, and it's also a left-hand opening door. You're pulling it to the left, opening inside the ensuite. All right. Now we can copy that one again. So we copy, select the item we want to copy, enter, and we are going to pull that item and bring it near to the top. So let's just pull it outside. Okay, let's place it here. We are going to put it into the bathroom and the guest toilet. So that's door number 6 and 7. Would you agree? So with number 7, let's start with number 7. It's really easy. Number 7, we can just actually move it in. because it's exactly the move. Enter, get the end point there and marry it up with the end point here. All right, so it fits in perfectly there, and then we're going to copy that and make one in this room here, and we're going to rotate that because it's also opening in. Rotate, select, enter, and move that 90 degrees. Do you see I've got elastic band, so that's a bit annoying. So you could actually use your ortho, like there, where you get your vector line, or you can actually just put on your ortho mode, and that snaps it down. Escape, and move it into position. Enter. And there we go. You've done your doors, all right, for the inside. So you just make sure that you get the right doors. And do you see in your, if you look here, the size of the door is also mentioned on the door panel. Do you see that? For number 9, 820 tells you the size of the door. 720 tells you the size of that door entering into the bathroom. So that's also your cue to know how to link up your door schedule with the doors on the plan. And this is normal to be able to write the sizing on the door panels. These numbers don't reflect. So where you've got door number 9, door number 3, door number 7, that is for you to complete this exercise. You do not show that on a normal plan to your clients, all right? So for this exercise, we've just put it in so that you can link it up. Usually you wouldn't have that for interior doors. You would just know that that's an 820 door because it's mentioned there. So it fits into a 900 opening. Okay. Alrighty. Let's pause there for. Can I give you about 5 minutes just to go to the bathroom, get some water, and then come back because I really need to take you through the exterior doors. Okay, they're quite difficult, and I need to get through that with you. All right, let's stop there. All right. Okay, so everyone, if you can just listen here, we're going to be looking at the exterior windows, and we've got some exterior doors. So we've got the front door, and we've got 3 sliding doors in aluminium, okay? So this door here is the front door, this is the sliding door number 2, and this is sliding door number 3, and this is sliding door number 4, okay? So, all right, so we're going to be looking at the door schedule down here, okay? As well as some of the well, it's actually more windows than doors. So let's go back into our drawing. Now the easiest would be to keep that that sheet up on your second computer or second monitor, and you can actually see that we will start on the outside wall over here by moving in with the measurements of 600, then the window opening of 1570, okay? So let's all just start with that. We're going to prepare all the openings first, and then we're going to insert the windows and doors. So that will just be the easiest. We're going to work in a anti-clockwise direction. So if you want to just carry on and do that, if you've got the gist of it, then so do that with, and the others just follow me step by step, and I'll take you through. Okay. So let's offset that. So we start with offset again. Make sure that you are in doors layer if you want. You can also be in you could also be in walls timber. You can always change properties, but it's best just to keep it like that. We're going to offset there from the outer edge here. So we're going to take this wall and we're going to say that it's 600 inwards. Enter. Select that one. Bring it in. Enter, enter, select the next measurement. So all that you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing enter, enter, measurement. Enter, enter, measurement. Do you see that? So those are your commands you're going to be using. So the next one now is 1570. So 1570, enter, select the line, bring it in. The wall between the two windows is 650, so enter, enter again, that will be 650, enter. Select the line, bring it in. Then we press enter again to start the command, and it's asking us for a distance, and that's another 1570. Enter, select the line, bring that in. All right, and then we've got a, oh yes, sorry guys, we didn't actually finish that last time. You'll see that there is actually a wall missing here. Do you see that? In an internal wall. If you go back to your drawings, you'll see that at the entry door there is a small wall that actually separates the lounge from the passageway. Do you see that? Okay, so if you bring up your, you've got it. Oh, I don't have it. Do you guys have that wall? Oh, okay. I don't have it. So just bear with me. Let me just draw that in quickly. So you've got it. So that's good. I'm pleased you're one ahead of me because I'm not. So I'm just going to offset that by, what was it, 1670. Offset 1670, enter. Excellent. And then we are going, what is that measurement of that wall? 2530. All right, easiest done. I'm just gonna do this quickly. Two, 530. Hey, is that correct? 2530. Enter. Okay. I've got two lines here. All right, I'll just move that one off. Offset, and that's a 90. Enter. And okay, brilliant. So there is there's my wall, and then if we look at offsetting that again, it should work out that that next measurement we can just measure between there and there should be 830. All right, so it's this measurement here. All right, so that's all good when you know that everything lines up. All right, so we're going to do the same thing that we did for the interior. What do we do there? We offset, and then we prepared the openings by using trim, correct? So let's do that. So we're going to choose trim, and we're just going to press enter, and we're going to just remove that like that and those like that. Did you see that? Just slide across, and then those disappear. All right. Also get in between the walls and the cavities, so that you need to remove that there, between the outer wall and the inner stud wall. All right. Do you see that? And then you need to change properties with this. So select those lines there and make sure that they are the wall, sorry, not wall timber, they are wall brick there. Enter. Okay. So now you can actually see you've got your brick wall, and oh, the same is for this one here, for your timber wall. So change the properties there. So if I zoom in now, you can actually see that that is part of your internal wall, and that's your external wall. You all good with that? So you just change the properties of that line that you cut through when you offset. Okay. Yep, keep trimming the cavity, keep trimming the cavity. So you press trim and enter, and that allows you to make those cavities available. All right, so now we've got these lovely holes in our wall. Do you see that? And the next one we're going to do is then the door. So the door is 1520. And that is easy done because what we can do is we can actually just extend from the outer wall here upwards. All right, so people were having a problem with perpendicular. So if you're wanting to connect, you can either just pull it up straight and trim that, or if you're wanting to connect to that there, which is a bit difficult because it keeps snapping to the end point, you can go to your O snap and actually select perpendicular. Do you see that? So if you select perpendicular, I can now get to perpendicular. It makes a right hand angle. Do you see that? Enter. All right. Then I can just going to raise that quickly so that I can move this line out. I'm going to just extend that down to this opening here, and I'm going to press trim, enter, and I'm going to open that all up there. So that allows me now to put my trim, and I need to trim that little cavity. Do you see that there? So I press enter, and that's when I press trim, enter, and that allows me to, so if I do trim again, everyone watch, trim, enter, and I can just erase that little cavity connection there. So you've got a nice little cavity opening there and there. Right, the same there. And that's where we're going to place our front door. Now, if you zoom in, you'll see that this is magenta and this is brick. So we need to change that line and that line to brick wall. So let's go up to brick wall. There. Okay. So those inner walls are all magenta and all the outer walls are your brick wall. So this is brick timber and this is brick wall. Okay? You okay? So it's exactly what we were doing here, but now we're just going through two walls, if that makes sense. Okay. Then if we go along, you can actually see then we can offset again 1400. So let's go, I'm just going to keep it indoors layer so that I know. I'm going to offset again, so go offset from the outer wall in. We're going to choose 1400, and it's from this line here inwards, not the internal line. Please don't choose the internal skin of that wall. It's definitely the outer. It's from that edge there, this line. Okay, this line, that direction is 1400. Okay, because then nothing will work out for you in terms of the positioning of the windows. Offset again, and we've got now window 3 as an opening, which is 1570. Enter. And we can make sure that we are right by measuring that leftover measurement by that point there to there, and that should be on your plan of your window schedule 1360. Okay. All right. So again, what we do here is that we just trim it up. Trim, enters the quickest way. Select that, go crosswise, and then get into your gaps there by just selecting that and selecting that. All right, then change properties of making sure that the wall of your internal is the same. So we're going to change that to walls timber. And there we go. So now you can actually see that's all nice and neatly open there. Now we're going to go to the side of the house. And you can see there's no window on the side here on the right hand side of the main bedroom, but there is a window in the bathroom, window 4. So we're going to offset that by 4740. So let's do offset again from this outer wall. So 4740, enter, select that outer wall at the bottom of your home, bring it up, enter, and start entering the command again by pressing enter. And then that window 4 has an opening of 970. Enter, select that line, pull it up, and you can actually see that it's right on the edge. Again, there's a little bit of gyprock that's allowed there, so that's all good as a return. I just want to make sure that I am correct there, so I'm just going to give it a little measure. So let's just measure from there to there, 4740, so that is correct. And then my window's correct at 970. Yep, so that's all good. All right, let's clean that up again. So we're going to just do trim again, enter, select that, and select that brown, that little line there and that little line there. So that's good that you see that little that little return. Do you see that? That needs to be shown there. All right, that's your bathroom window. All right, trim your cavity. So we're going to trim again, trim, enter, trim that, and trim here. And then make this line and this line the same property as walls timber. And there's your opening there. Okay, then from there we've got 350 as a return, and then your sliding door starts in your rumpus area. So that's a return from your windowsill. So from this little part here, you'd use that line. So let's offset that by 350 and go up. Okay. And what you can do is you can extend that line so it just becomes easier. So choose extend. Choose this line to extend to. Enter. Select that line. And there we go. Then offset that by your sliding door opening, which is 2,410. Now, how do you know that that corresponds with your sliding door? If you look at here, I just want to show you something that's quite nifty in looking at plans. So I'm just going to go back to here. I'm just zooming in. Okay, do you see that code there? It says SD. SD. What do you think SD stands for? Well done. Sliding door 1. Okay, so sliding door 1, and then it mentions 2124. What does the 21 stand for?
21 is height.
Exactly. It's 21,000. No, sorry. 2 meters 100 or 2100 in height. And the 24 stands for the width. So it's 2400 wide. Okay, so that's what that code is there. And with all plans, they put those measurements on windows and doors or just doors. Okay, all good? So we know that that's 2410. So they don't put the 10 behind. They just give you a rounded up version. So that's why they just say 24 there. But usually an opening of a sliding door, if it's 2400, it usually is 2410. Okay. Or if it's 36 as an opening, it could be 3610. All right, there's always that 10 behind it. All right, let's go back into here. All right, so we're going to offset that by 2410. So offset 2410, enter. And up there is our sliding door. And we are going to trim now again. So we trim it, enter. And that's all good there. And we're going to remove our little cavity again. And remove our little cavity again there. Okay, change properties, so select that line and change it to walls, timber. All right, so that's our sliding door for the rompus area. Now we're going to do the sliding door for the laundry. And so that needs to be offset by 300 from the edge of the sliding door. So from this little, this wall here, we're going to offset that. 300. And we're going to put the sliding door in at 1450. So enter, 1450. Okay. We'll trim that again, enter, and we'll do the cavity there, enter, and enter. We can erase, oh, I did the wrong one, sorry. We can also use fillet if you want, but then that does take it right to the edge. So if you use fillet, you can select that line and that line. No, sorry. What am I doing? You can't use fillet there. The best is just to use trim there actually. Use enter. Enter there. You can also use your grip points. So if you're wanting to bring this in, you can bring that, you can select your grip on the edge and you bring that in to that point there. So you can also do that. And you can see there's a double up line here. So you can actually get the grip point there and bring that in to there. And you can extend that even by getting the grip points. Do you see that? You can use your grip points. So then I just have to trim that little cavity. And there. All right. So that's how far we've got so far in terms of where we're at. So we've just got a couple more openings to do, and that is then in the bathroom, where we just carry on doing window 5, 6, 7, and then we've got 8, and then the other sliding doors. So I'll just quickly do that, and then I can show you how you can insert those sliding doors and some windows and orientate that. So let's just finish that off. So we've got a 190 there. So again, offset 190, enter. It's a lot of repetitiveness at the moment, but at least then from there, then you know you're doing everything right. And offset that window, which is 970. Oh, offset would be good. 970, enter. And then offset again by, I'm just going to carry on offsetting. I think that would be the easiest. 970. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can, if that's where you feel comfortable, that's fine by working from the top down. I'm just going to follow the window, so I'm just doing an anti-clockwise direction so that I don't get confused. And then I've got a 965. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this because it just makes it easier. So I'm going to just extend, or I can actually get the grip points if it makes it easier for you, and go to perpendicular. So you can also do that. Did you see what I did? So I select that. Instead of going extend, I can also just get the grip points and do that. And then I can trim that. And the same here with this one. I just want to measure this. 970. Oh, that's wrong. Why was 190? Oh, no. So we got the bathroom window, which is 970. Then we got 9650. So this one's wrong. So we're going to carry on. Offset 965 is the one here. Okay. And then the bathroom window is W6, which is 610. So then you offset that again. And then you're going to offset that again by 1065. And then we've got 1570 for the window 7. Just want to measure. It's always good to measure. Okay. And then I can just trim that all up. Enter. And make sure your cavities are done. So there and there. Trim. Okay, 3 more, last one, 3 more. So then it's also with regards to around here. So offset by 930. And offset that again by 1570. Oopsie, that's wrong. Offset that by 1570. Enter. And then offset that again by 1540. And then offset that again by 2410. 2410. Okay. And then the last one is this one, offset by 720, which is this one here. 2410. Enter. All good. Okay. I'm going to trim that all up. Trim again. And that one. Do all your cavities. Okie dokes. Now that you've done all your openings, you can start putting in your windows and doors. Now, I'm just going to show you quickly how to do a window and door. So if you can just stop what you're doing and look here. This is very important because we're inserting now windows and we've got to add a scale to it. All right, so just stretch or something just to feel more alive because this is important. Okay, so we're looking at inserting windows, right? So if you go to your window schedule, you'll see that these windows are all the same. They're the same block. So from window 1 all the way down to window 8, it's the same block, but we've got to add a scale now to them. So if you go along, you can see that there's the X scale there. Do you see that? Very important. That's your clue for your scale. So if we go back to our drawing, and we're wanting to insert that window there, where do we go? We go to the Insert tab, right, for block. And we go to the other Insert tab to insert the block. We go to More Options, and we write in that code, which is seen as WNP. So let's go WNP-slide, and it will take us to where that one is. And it's actually the last item on your block list. All right, select that. Once you've got to this part here in the actual Insert tab, then you can see that we are specifying on the screen the insertion point, so that's why we need to tick it. But this is important. We need to do the X value here. And now this will only work if all of you are in a scale, which is down here. Just make sure that you're all to 1 to 100. So if you click your downward arrow, you should be in 1 to 100. If you're not, you need to change that. Okay? Is everyone in the scale of 1 to 100? Perfect. So here, if I insert this as is, all right, and I go okay, do you see how small this little window is? Do you see that? It doesn't fit in there, all right? So you can't do that. So I'm just going to leave that there. That means that is, what did I do? So that means that that window is not the right scale. I need to extend the width. So I have to go, I just want to go back quickly in there, more options. Single glaze, there we go. So if I specify on here now, and I give it specify the X value, I must put in there what is the size of that that window opening. If you look at your window 1, it says window 1 in the scale of X, it needs to be 1.57. So 1.57. I want you to type that in. All right? So just in the X. Now what does X stand for? It means anything horizontal or with width. So that's why we're changing only the X value. Okay? And we're going in at okay.
So we don't make sure uniform scales unticked.
Where's, oh yes, and was yours ticked?
Yeah.
Yes, uniform scale. Let's do that.
It has to be ticked.
Okay, let me just see quickly. I just want to see something. Yep, that's too big. No, wait. Yep, so untick uniform scale. Correct. So that must be unticked, uniform scale. Type in 1257. All right, and I've got the wrong object, so let's go down here to there. Okay, and that should fit in neatly to that corner there. All right, so that should all line up. All right, you can do it again by pressing enter. It takes you straight to that command, so you don't have to keep going inserting the block if you want to. If you just press enter, it takes you straight back here. So there you do it again. You type in 1257 and you press OK. and another one will come up. Make sure that the inner insertion point connects with your inner wall, and there's your second window going in there. All right, so now that's all uniform. Now that window, some of you don't know why that window looks like that, but this part here is actually the sill. So you know when you look at a window from outside, you'll see that this is the frame, this part, but the white part here is the glass. Okay, so that's glass, and this part here is the window sill. Okay. All right, so you need to do that for the windows. Of course, this window is the same window, but it will be a smaller window. So this one here, and we need to rotate it. So let's press enter again. If I just press enter, this, what do you call this? This
Dialog box.
Thank you. That's the word I'm needing. Dialog box will pop up. And then you change the scale here. So what is that window? Window for the bathroom, for the toilet is W6, right? So we go down to window 6, we go along, and we can see that it's 0.61. Okay, so you type that in. But now, this is where it gets interesting, where you can actually change the angle. So you can either rotate it on your screen, or you can rotate it here. So if I unclick that, I can give it an angle and tell it what direction to move. So if that is my horizontal look, if I'm wanting to change it upwards, I just have to press 90 and it will swing it up. So if I put in angle here of 90, there's my window there already done for me, all right? And I can just now plonk it in there. Okay, did you see that? So you've got two options. You can either rotate it once inserted into the program, or into your AutoCAD, or you can do it in the dialog box. Okay, so if you say specify on screen, then you are giving it the option to rotate that in on the AutoCAD interface. If you untick that and you provide 90, that will rotate it for you. Okay, is everyone clear with that? Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to leave you now to do the windows, but I just want to show you what to do with the sliding doors, because you've got to flip them and rotate them. So let's all look at a sliding door. We're going to start off with sliding door 2. Sliding door 2 is over here in this area, the rhombus area. Okay. And we need to insert that. So we go to insert, more options. We look what sliding door is called. Sliding door 2 is seen as DRP, so we can type in DRP dash sliding, and that's the door there. You can see that it looks like that. We are going to give it a scale of X to 2.41, so we have to specify that. 2.41 as the width. So it's 2 meters, 410. And now do you see that it will come out inserted in a horizontal position? I can be clever and already flip it by 90 degrees and then rotate it, but I'll do it the long way so that it makes it easier for you. So I'm going to say specify on screen. So I'm going to click that box in terms of rotation, because I'm going to rotate it on my screen rather than do it here. Okay, so do you see how it comes up horizontal? Click there, and you can then change it to the position you want. So if I want it in that position upwards, that looks the closest that I can mirror it, and then I can actually have my arrow on the inside. So I click, and now I just have to mirror it. So I go to home, mirror, mirror, and I mirror that up option, enter, and I get from there and I mirror it there. Now it's asking me to remove the source object. I would like to remove the source object, so I'm going to say yes. And now I can move it into position, move it, and from there switch off your ortho so that you've got elastic band so you can move it in, and it's on the interior wall that we're putting it in, and it fits snugly in there. The other one is flipped on the inside, so you need to just do that. So I can copy that, move that over here. There we go. What size is that? They're the same size, but I need to now flip it the other direction on the interior, so I can mirror that. Enter. Oopsie, let's do that. Or you could have just kept it. That was also another option. Yes, and bring that in and move it to over here. Oopsie, I didn't catch the right spot. Make sure you move it from the right corner. Move it to the interior of there. All right, there we go. So that's how you do your doors and your windows for the exterior. I'd like you to finish this up for next week's class. So finish off doing your windows and doors to the exterior. For those that just want to carry on for a bit more, if you're wanting to learn quickly how to do hatch, then we will look at hatch. Also, do you see how these doors don't have any step? You need to add a step to the sliding door, okay? So you need to use, where is it now? Tiles. Is it on here? No, it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'll create, did you find it?
Is that tile block you're looking for?
No. I need to, you see here, you see this door, the sliding door? This is indicating that I fall straight out the sliding door, that there's no rebate for a sliding door. And with this sliding door, you have to have a rebate. It gets cut into the slab. So what we need to do is actually align from there to there to show that that is a step then onto your grass or onto your pavers or whatever. It's normally 50 mils cut down. Okay. So I'm just going to create a layer, and then that will be then for you to add, and we'll do that in next week's class. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you want to add that, you can, but I'm just deleting that for now. All right, for hatching, if you want to follow your notes, you'll see that on page of your assessment, on page 10, it tells you what hatch to use for the walls, all right? So if you zoom into this wall here and you press hatch, so let's choose our layer first. That would be a good idea. So layers, and we go to wall hatch. Do you see wall hatch? Choose wall hatch. And then we're going to choose this little funny little block here that says hatch there under your home page under draw. You see there where I'm highlighting? Select that, and then this ribbon will come up. Okay, once you've got this ribbon, you need to select let's open this up. You need to select ANSI 132. So this one here, select that. Okay, can everyone see that? Select it. So ANS, so ANSI 32. All right, once you've selected that, then you need to go along and give it a scale, which is over here at where this 1 is, and you're going to put in 0.2, all right, and then you're going to pick your point. So you can either pick point by choosing that. And if you zoom in, it won't allow you, if you're looking at this as your object to fill in, this outer wall, brick wall, if I zoom in too much, it won't allow me to pick that point. Now you can actually see it's quite dense. So we can go into properties and change that, because what's happened is that the lines are very close together. So let's try 20 and see. So 20 works quite well. So if you want to change it to 20 in there, you can. All right. It's just to do with the scale. Oh, sorry. You know why I've done that? Ah, freaking hell. Sorry, guys. You need to choose annotative, not associative. Annotative means that it links to the scale of 1 to 100. You see that? All right. So try that again. Let's see what it does. I'm going to just do that instruction again. Choose ANSI 32. Give it a scale of 0.2. Select your object. So go in between. So I want you to select between the, so it's showing that there's brick there. Now do you see it won't allow me because I've zoomed in? Do you see how it's disappeared? I have to zoom out so that shows that part of that wall, and then I click in there, and there we go. There's my hatching to show that I've cut through that brick wall. All right?
It's not showing that.
Well, it's because you've zoomed in too much. You need to zoom out.
Yeah, and it's still grey. ANSI 32.
Yep. It could mean that there's the boundary walls might be open, that you haven't closed them off.
Oh, right. So, okay.
So you have to zoom in to see if you've actually connected your walls properly. And usually, Liz, if you look here on the screen, it's usually this nib little part here, this line. If that line is open, if I deleted that, watch this. So if I raise that, this is what happens. Okay, so I'm going in and I say hatch. I choose all that and that's all good, and I go in there. This box will come up and says a closed boundary cannot be determined because there's an opening. All right?
Didn't get that one.
Or it could mean that have you chosen, if you go in there again, have you chosen annotative?
Yeah, ANSI 32 annotating 0.2. Is it 0.02 or 0.2?
So it's 0.2.
0.2.
Yeah.
Okay, choose that one, choose that one. Ah, lovely. Yeah, it was the zooming.
Okay, so that's what also happens, guys. If you zoom in too close to an object and it's out of your screen, so this is what happens. So if I zoom in like that, and I do that now because I want it in there, right? But actually, I need to show it like that. It won't allow me to. So if I zoom in even like that, and I go there, and I do everything just say, and I try and click in there. Oh, now it's done it, so I don't know why. But usually it doesn't do it. Could be because I've zoomed maybe a little bit in and out too much. I've changed my coloring of my walls. Let me go back and let's put it into hatch. Hatch. Make sure you're definitely in the right layer. So there we go. That's what you can do now for your walls. Make sure that they're closed. Hatch again, and I can click there and click all along here, and that's where it shows my brick wall available. Okay, so that's where we're going to end off. So if you guys can please finish off doing your insert all your windows and doors, and then if you want to carry on to do your hatching for your outer brick wall, that will be wonderful. And then next week we'll start with inserting plumbing. So it's all the vanity appliances and all the kitchen appliances. And then we're going to be also looking at doing the tiles for the bathroom. Okay. So that concludes today's lesson. Thank you. I'm just going to change this item here. It's incorrect. So for Windows 6, it's not a sliding window. It is actually an awning window. So Windows 6, if you go along to Windows 6, you'll see that the code is WNP-awning, AWN. So when we insert that, we go to Insert, we go to More Options, and we go to WNP, and we go to awning. Oh, where is it? There it is there. So that's an awning window. It's hinged at the top and it winds out at the bottom. And that is has a scale of untick uniform. It has a scale of 1 to it's 0.61. So sorry, 0.61. And then we can actually change that angle to 90, and we can go enter. So unclick specifying screen because we're not rotating it on the screen. And now that we have the window, we can actually insert it over here.
That was just exactly the same process and all of the information is there.
Yeah, so basically this window for Windows 6 for the guest toilet is actually an awning window. It's not the sliding window.
No, that's okay, that's fine, yeah.
So you've got to just do the same process of inserting, but choose the right block name by going awning. It's under Windows 6, and then you've got to also then change the X scale.
Under Windows 6, what do you mean?
Yeah, so it's Windows 6.
Oh, Windows 6. Fine.
Yeah.
But if I don't change, I mean, look, the thing is that if I pick up the wrong window, it'll be the wrong size anyway.
You pick up the wrong window. What do you mean?
I mean, if I actually did use the wrong window.
Yeah, I could actually put a sliding window in there.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I did previously with your class, and it was incorrect. So I'm just recording this now to say that I have now putting an awning window. It's the only window in the whole thing that's an awning window. There's only one awning window, and that's that window that's hinged at the top, and you've got a little wind out at the bottom, and it flips open like that. It doesn't slide horizontally.
Right. So those are awning windows.
Yes.
I do actually have one question.
Okay. All right, I just want to finish this quickly and then change those properties to the right layer, which is then under Windows. Enter. So please be aware that you are in the right layers. So that was doors, you need to change them to windows. So make sure that that is in doors layer and these are in windows layer. Okay, so when you come to window 9, which is this window here in the meals area section, this is the only window that is going to be double glazed. So if you look at your window schedule, you'll see W9. It has a width size of 2.4 wide, and it has the code for the block name WNP-slide. So we insert that. Insert, more options, and we search for that double glazed window. So it's down here, WNP-slide double glazed, and we change the scale to 2.41, and we will have to look at changing that angle, so we can specify on screen to rotate that. So okay, so here it is here, home. Oh, I've lost it again, so let's just try that again. Practice makes perfect. Insert, more options, double glazed, 2.41, specifying screen rotation, so not to give it an angle in this dialog box. Press OK, click, and rotate here. So put your ortho on, swing it round so that the sill faces outwards. Okay, and then move it. So home, move, enter, and select your inner point to your inner wall lining. So take off your ortho so it becomes elastic band again and place it in there. Alright, so once that's done, that is your only double glazed window, whereas these windows here are all single glazed. And just to take note that that is actually the only awning window which is placed in the guest toilet or bathroom toilet or WC. Then that's all for now. Andreas will take you through creating the openings here to add the height of the walls. It's almost like an alcove or opening in the wall, so it's above your cutting line and therefore it will be dashed just like this wall here, this low wall. It was, as Andreas said, it's above your cutting line, so therefore it's dashed. Okay, so he'll take you through that. Thank you.